Okay, so we are recording. So welcome to everybody who is viewing this later. And for those of you who are here, we didn't expect a huge turnout, but thank you so much for attending. We will be going over elevator pitches, and this workshop will be hosted by Gabby Wayman, who has been a mentor with Launch Pad for a very long time and an excellent asset to the program.
Thank you.
And I'm very excited to hear this myself as a business student who always is looking to improve my elevator pitch.
Let me tell you, I was never a business student, so this is coming organically.
Well, you do good. But I think 2 years ago, we were like in a pinch for an speaker, and Gabby just got up and did a whole presentation at our final event 2 years ago, just on a whim. So she's great at this. She's great at thinking on her feet. And for those of you who are listening in from after this being recorded and posted to YouTube, and for those of you here, I cannot emphasize to you enough how important the elevator pitch is. It might not seem so important because, you know, if you don't win your category, it's like, oh, well, it's just there. And it's not necessarily used to determine who wins categories. But if you do win your category, you would go up and not live, but your virtual recorded pitch would be presented and would be the determining factor to first, second, and third place. And in the past, you didn't have the option to record it, and we had to get up live on stage in front of 300 people, which was intimidating. So you guys are the lucky ones. So Gabby, I will pass the torch off to you. Take it away.
Sure. So hey, everybody. Thanks for either joining us live or checking out the video afterwards. My name's Gabby Wayman. I'm currently a software product manager at the Raymond Corporation, and I've been working with the Sydney High School team for many years on the Launch Pad /GBSC competition. So tonight we're going to talk about the elevator pitch. And what Michael said is true for the competition, right? The elevator pitch isn't going to kick in until you win your room, and then it's going to be used to determine how far you proceed after that. But let me tell you what. My experience shows that kids who know their elevator pitch perform really well in the competition overall, because your elevator pitch is you taking 90 seconds to succinctly describe your business, not the nuts and bolts of it, but the emotional appeal, why you want to catch somebody's attention, why somebody like a judge should pay attention to you, should read your business plan, ask you questions, and take your business seriously. So the elevator pitch is something that once you nail it down, you bring that confidence and that knowledge and that succinct language with you into the rest of your competition, right? So when you're speaking in front of the judges, when you're answering questions, the training that you put in for your elevator pitch shows up in those times as well. So it's definitely an important part. And, one of my favorite things to do, because there's a lot of fun that you can have with it, especially this year, because you get to record it ahead of time. So what's an elevator pitch? The concept of an elevator pitch is if you are in an elevator with somebody who is a CEO or a potential investor for your business, and you only have the amount of time it takes to ride that elevator, what do you want that person to leave knowing? How do you want them to feel? What's the most important thing that's going to grab their attention so that maybe that conversation continues after the elevator ride? You have 90 seconds in this competition. And what I want to do right now is show you an example elevator pitch for somebody who is competing in a business plan competition on a national scale, and use their 90 seconds to create an emotional appeal. They use a little bit of shock factor, and they succinctly described where their idea came from, who it helps, and how they're going to monetize it. So without further ado, I am going to show you Jack's stand. Can you guys hear it? We're gonna try again. We'll get there. I'm all
I think it's working. It's just lagging a bit.
Lagging. All right.
Next into the tank is a kid entrepreneur who wants to help other kids fulfill their entrepreneurial aspirations.
Hi Sharks, my name is Jack Bonneau. I'm the founder and CEO of Jack's Stands and Marketplaces, and I'm from Denver, Colorado.
Hi Sharks, I'm Steve Bonneau. I'm Jack's dad. I work for Jack.
Sharks, I'm seeking $50,000 in exchange for 10% of my company. I'm 10 years old, but when I was 8 years old, I really wanted a Lego set, but it cost $400. The good news was my dad said I could have it.
But he'd have to pay for it with his own money.
So, I did what most of you probably would do. I started my own lemonade stand. After 12 weeks, I made $900 after expenses.
Wow.
Learned some valuable lessons, and yes, I got my Lego Death Star. The experience is exactly why I created Jack's Stands and Marketplaces. Jack's Stands and Marketplaces provides kids and their families opportunities to learn about entrepreneurship, business, financial literacy, while having fun and making some money. We provide everything except their mood and their enthusiasm. Jack's Stands offers kids the opportunity to sell lemonade and other drinks. We offer kids the opportunity to sell more than just lemonade. Jack's Marketplaces provides young entrepreneurs the opportunity to sell their products in authentic and great marketplaces and have kids sell those great products and tell the inspirational stories of these young entrepreneurs.
So Sharks, our challenge and question to you is, who wants to make money?
While inspiring our nation's youth in entrepreneurship.
The shock factor. Jack is 10 years old. Jack went on Shark Tank to ask for $50,000 in exchange for equity in his business because he built a marketplace where kids could sell their products. I know this from watching 90 seconds of that video. When you give your elevator pitch, the judge will know who you are, what your business is, where the idea came from, and who it's going to help, who it's going to impact. Why is this important? Now, what I've seen other competition teams do in the past is spend a lot of time focusing on one of those things. Maybe they spend a lot of time talking about who they are, trying to defend the fact that they should be allowed to pitch this business. Other times we see kids who forget to introduce themselves, but they spend a lot of time talking about the details of their product because that's what they really know and that's where they're comfortable, right? They know exactly how they designed it, how it works, what plugs into where. And that can be useful in an elevator pitch if you're introducing a product that's going into an already competitive market, because then you need to be able to articulate why yours is different. If that's not the case, or even if it is, but you need to keep it short, we don't want to spend a lot of time on that one nugget of your competition, right? You don't want to spend any of your 90 seconds talking about something too long. So editing becomes really important, which is why being able to review and edit your videos before you send them in gives you a great advantage over the kids who had to do this in the past. I want to know again who you are, what your business is, what problem does it solve, where did the idea come from? There's an emotional play there, right? Jack used words like financial literacy for kids. He's obviously done a lot of research. He tugged on those judges' heartstrings. Who doesn't want to teach kids how to be good with money in the future, right? What is it about your business? What is it about your product that is going to let you tug on those judges' heartstrings? How are they going to make an emotional connection with you? How are they going to want to see you succeed? Those things are already baked into your problem statement, into your executive summary, into the way that you present. Here in the elevator pitch is just where you kind of release the trigger, pull out everything you've got. If there's a shocking statistic, if there's a lot of money to be saved somewhere, if there's a lot of safety that you can put into somebody's life with a product, you want to make sure that that fact makes it into your elevator pitch. So because you get to record them ahead of time, I also get to advise that you can have fun with this. When we had to do our elevator pitches in person, you stand up in front of the crowd, you have your 90 seconds in front of the microphone. So you can articulate. You want to be poised, you want to be well-dressed, you want to use body language. You have all those public speaking tools. Because you get to make a video, now you can bring all those other fun tools to the party too. So if you have kind of a creative flair with making videos and you want to throw a couple of graphics up there, if you want to do a one shot where you're walking down the street and everybody's coming in to give their little pot, whatever it is that you think is going to bring some flair and some personality to your video, you get the chance to do that here. So I really encourage you to have fun with this. That practice and making that video is going to reflect in how you give your original pitch. So all I want to make sure everybody knows is, who are you? What is your business? What problem are you solving? Where'd your business come from? And tell me how you solve it. Make it emotional, tug on my heartstrings. You want the judges to be saying yes. You want to win those sharks. They want to say yes. You're not asking for 50 grand, but you're asking for the win, and you want them to say yes. So Kian, since you're with us today, do you have any questions about how you're developing your elevator pitch?
I don't really have many questions. Yeah.
Okay. Have you gotten a chance to practice anything yet? And I'm not going to make you do it unless you feel brave.
No, I haven't really started practicing yet. I'm still trying to like make a script and make sure everything's done and good.
Sure. Are you a team of one or a team of multiple kids?
It's just me.
Team of one. So you have complete creative control, right? Think about the script. Think about what you want it to look like. And at the end of the day, remember, this is always supposed to be a fun process. So just because you want to do a certain thing, just because you love a certain special effect, if you can't get it to work right in the video, don't stress over it. Make a fun video. Make it within your capabilities. Stretch yourself a little bit if you feel like it, but keep the fun of the competition, because you want to make sure that that comes through in the video that the judges finally see. So Bill or Michael, do you guys have any questions you think the other kids would like? Michael?
Yeah, and I don't want to step on, I would love to hear from Bill as well. But I have a couple things. First of all, to Kian's point, competing as an individual and having specifically an elevator pitch as an individual, I feel like those people have an advantage because it can be very difficult to fit everything that everybody wants to say when you're in a group.
Yes.
With 90 seconds. In the past, we've seen one person from the team take the microphone and talk the entire time. Sometimes we see it pass back and forth, which takes, a bit of coordination. And if you go in, just you're relying on yourself, which can be a lot of pressure, but you also can have a pretty consecutive thought instead of jumbling around quite a bit. And to that note, when it was in person, you kind of were guaranteed to fall on your face. I know at least everybody who competed when I was competing myself in 2018, and then when the competition was in person 2019 and I got to witness it, everybody they had their strong moments, they had their weak moments. My friend competed with me when I was a senior, and he completely fell on his face. He was like the pick for the win. He had so many judges rooting behind him, and then he got up on stage and he just froze. And that happens. But because it's recorded, you guys have the opportunity to take multiple takes and get it right, which is really great. But it comes with its own complication.
And pressure.
Yeah, and pressure. Because you feel like you have to get it right every time, which is not true. Nothing's going to be perfect. First take might be better than your 100th take, and that happens all the time. And you also have to be a little savvy, a little video editing know-how. And I know our generation is probably a little better than older generations, but not everybody is so savvy with videos. And I know that most people have like an iPhone, but not everybody does. So in terms of video recording, I recommend, getting a phone, getting on your laptop, or borrowing somebody's phone and just doing that 60 to 90 second recording. I use iMovie to edit all my videos, which or on my phone, which I found very intuitive, very easy. But yeah, sorry, I kind of went on a rant. Take it back, Abby.
No, that's all good. Bill, how about you?
No, that's good, Michael, because us boomers, we have no idea how to do a video. But anyway, I thought Jack's stand was a really good example because, you know, the way they had the stand in the background, you know, because not only is he using the value proposition, you know, the problem and how we're going to solve it, but then he's got the visual in the background of his stand, you know, so I thought that was a really good idea. And like, I could see, you know, how to try to put something like that together to choreograph it.
Yeah, use what you have. And you want to keep that going with you when you're doing your presentation to the judges as well. Notice, and this is something that I had to practice a lot too. I was a 2-time finalist in the City of Binghamton Business Plan competition. And both times you have to get so prepared because if you notice, Jack didn't use cards. He wasn't reading off of anything at any time. Jack knew his business and he knew what he wanted to say to the judges. The more closely you can align yourself to not having to read off cards, to being confident in what you say, you'll find that come out in your presentation. You'll find it come out in how you enunciate and how you bring enthusiasm and excitement out with you. And you'll also find that when you're doing your video, you'll have fewer technical issues, have fewer takes, right? It will look better because it won't feel scripted. Talk off of what you know about your business. You picked it, you made it, you built the prototypes, you built the mock-ups. This is your business. Show us in 90 seconds how much you love it and how much you want us to love it too.
Great, I thought that was really good.
So I'm always happy to answer anybody's questions. Michael can send out my contact information. But I think for tonight, and anytime you're watching this, right, just remember, this is your business. You are the one who came up with it. You put all the work into it. This is the time where you take that and you show it to everybody. It's nothing to be scared of. It's nothing to be embarrassed by. You get the chance to show the world what you've been working on. And I can't wait to see what you've all come up with.
Gabrielle, your positive energy is great.
Oh, well, thank you.
That was amazing.
I hope everybody can do that.
Well, you know, lots of practice.
So if we have no more questions, and if you're done, Gabby, I can stop recording. I did have a funny story that I thought I might share. When I was doing my elevator pitch, when I competed, I felt like I messed up when I was up there because I got up, I started rambling, I completely forgot what I was going to say. And I wasn't even going to say this statistic, but I remembered a statistic that I had used in my presentation that I thought I could use as like a hook to get people interested, just thinking on my feet. And it was, I think from Business Insider in 2014, they had said Binghamton, New York was rated the 5th most depressing city in all.
Everybody loves that one.
Yeah, and I mean, as interesting as it was, the thing I didn't quite consider is that all of the judges were Binghamton business people and were very invested in the city of Binghamton.
Yep.
So heard that, you know, Binghamton was rated the 5th most depressing city. Their jaws literally dropped. You could drop. Everybody gasped. It was, I'm sure it wasn't as bad as what, but like when I was up there, everybody was focused on me and just the entire energy of the room flipped and I almost like fell to pieces. But
no.
working in my favor. But you know, so I'm very grateful that it did, but it doesn't always. So being able to pivot, think on your feet is good. But also like because you guys get to record it, that's also, as Gabby was saying, just keep it natural, keep it to what you know, and that's really probably where you're going to find success rather than from reading from cards.
Who are you? what is your business? Where did it come from? What problem are you solving? And tell me how you're solving it. Yep. I think everybody's going to do great. It's been a crazy year, but if my students are any indication, there's been so much energy and love put into the development of the projects that you can't go wrong. You guys are going to do great.
Thank you, Gabrielle.
You're welcome. Michael, thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. And thanks for coming. I'll be.
Thank you for being here, Kian.
Yeah.